Welcome to the Phazon Labs, everybody. This is a brand new podcast powered by World 1-1, and we are here to talk about awesome ideas for new Metroid games that Nintendo will never fucking make. You can find us at our, we have yet to create it, but will by the time this goes up, Twitter. My lovely co-host here will probably be running that side of it, but and then you can also, of course, reach out to the World 1-1 Twitter, which is at World1_1 podcast. And so with all the fun stuff out of the way, I am your host, Larry the Bearded Wonder. Joining me this evening is my partner in crime, Isabel Bramman.
Hello.
And we are proud to be sponsored this episode by Phazon Flakes. They're a radioactively delicious part of your balanced breakfast. So, this week, Isabel's got a pitch for us, and I am flying blind on this because I like going off the cuff, and that's way more fun for me to be surprised. So, without further ado, let's get to some meat and taters here. What have you got? I want to hear.
Okay, so let me set the scene for you, Larry. It's a Nintendo Direct. It's the very end of the Nintendo Direct, and then they say, but wait, we have one more thing to show you. And so there's darkness. And then we show, Monument Valley, the west. And then the sun rises.
Glad you clarified that, because my brain was thinking of Monument Valley, the game.
Oh, the Monument Valley, where the canyons, that kind of thing? Yeah, so it's sunrise. A lone rider rides out of the sunset, and a very familiar tune starts playing on a guitar. But we can't see who this rider is because of the hat. But those shoulders look very familiar. And then the narrator says, "Call me Sam. Sam Aaron." Then the title appears, Metroid Outlaw. What are your thoughts?
Ooh. I'm curious how we get here and how far full tilt this goes.
Okay, so I have a whole story for you, but this would be so I was talking with someone about this, and they said, so is it like The Mandalorian, or is it like something else? And I said, well, I would love it to be The Mandalorian, but this one would be classic Wild West. So, sort of imagine kind of like Red Dead Redemption, sort of like classic Wild West kind of thing. Okay. But I have my story pitch if you want to hear that.
I do.
All right. So, Sam Aaron is a bounty hunter working for the U.S. Marshals. She hears about a group of the infamous pirates, cattle rustlers, and ne'er-do-wells have taken over a ranch. So she goes over to investigate. After clearing the ranch, she discovers the kid, the pirate's captive. Soon, the rest of the pirates are on both her and the kid's heels, and the marshals seem to have their own sinister plans for the kid. Sam heads for the border looking for a place to safely leave the kid. Ooh. So, what do you think about that?
I feel like this could be a really interesting, alternate universe take, or a multiverse take for the series.
Yes.
I'm trying to piece together in my head a gameplay loop, and it's not coming to me, but that doesn't mean it doesn't exist or that you don't have one. I haven't pieced it together in my head myself yet.
Yes. So this is actually not technically all my idea. This is based off of two different artists that have made really cool concepts on it. They're Daniel Hooker and M. Willis, who are at Daniel Hooker Art and at Wishcraft on Twitter. So I can't take full credit for that, but they've made both really good concepts for this, so I want to give them some credit, some shout outs for that. But so in terms of the gameplay loop and the world map, I'm thinking that it would be a semi-open world, like Xenoblade Chronicles, where there would be areas that are open, but they're kind of distinct areas, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So then you can go to each area, you can find some power-ups maybe potentially, maybe like a new gun or something. And then as you go to a new area, you can always jump back to the previous area, but like it would be more of like a sort of a semi-open world, if that makes sense, that you can ride around on your horse and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just really want this game because I don't think Nintendo has made any cowboy games, and I really want to see Cowgirl Samus doing bounty hunting stuff.
Now I'm trying to think if Nintendo's actually done anything Western. Huh. Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, I know. It's the only game that I can think of that's like a newer game that's a really good cowboy game is Red Dead Redemption. And that one also is like really interesting because people really like that, but it's also like so open, and it has like just every open world game has its own kind of like, I love Breath of the Wild, but like it's so massive and stuff, and I just get lost, and I'm just like, I don't feel like playing it again. But like with Metroid, I'm like, it's a little more contained, a little more like I can go through these areas and really deeply kind of explore them, know every nook and cranny, that kind of thing. So I'm thinking that I would lean more towards this sort of semi-open world instead of a full open world.
Okay. I'm part of me is thinking alternate universe Samus, but that it's not Earth, but it doesn't lean into like full-blown sci-fi. It's just alien world with civilization on it, but Western setting. So that way, you know, out and around, you know, riding through this world, there you still get to, you know, experience and, you know, fight off all sorts of, you know, weird alien creatures and stuff that, you know, aren't inherently malicious, but, you know, can, you know, will still fucking hurt you type deal. And but I'd be kind of curious to, you know, go see them take a fresh direction with that and go, okay, so we're a whole new place, so we've got a whole new lineup of, you know, various alien creatures to, you know, to blow it up, so to speak, and really kind of grow the bestiary that way for the series. I think would be neat. But I do think too that you know what might kind of give a good mental baseline for the thought on this would be like Stranger's Wrath, the Oddworld game.
Okay.
I could see that kind of thing because you can get into like that level of, you know, weird and bizarre, and you can get into some of the. I think that kind of thing would allow for some dialogue exchange with other characters as well, so you can still lean into like that Western feeling dialect with you know, some of the conversation as well, so you can actually build some characters in there but still spend a good hunk of the game kind of out on your own alone. Not necessarily a lot that's going to give you that claustrophobic feel, but still very disconnected and, you know, alone with nobody to save you out in the wild kind of feel.
Yeah, definitely. I can imagine like some massive monsters, like, you know, that are coming and just constantly trying to, you know, ruin your day, that kind of thing. And then potentially just that could potentially be like a good boss situation, you know, like you're just like kind of have all these different roadblocks in your way as you're trying to make it to this fictional place of safety. Yeah. So, but
plus on top of that, if it's not Earth, you know, and it's alternate universe somewhere, could still lean into the idea that there is a fair amount of advanced technology to, pick up some upgrades in terms of weapons and mobility, but can also branch off from the usual shtick of, the same set of upgrades every time, because it's not integrating into a full armor suit.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
and this sounds really silly, but have you seen the movie Cowboys versus Aliens?
it's been a long time, but yes.
Okay, so
And I am perfectly okay with silly. Don't ever think I will, snub my nose at silly.
Okay, because in that movie they have like the cowboys are fighting the aliens, but like the main character, who I think is Daniel Craig, if I remember correctly, he has like this gauntlet that he uses to fight the aliens. And so I was thinking that instead of like having the arm cannon, Samus would use this gauntlet instead, and like have something like that. And so that way then we could get like the sort of more, interesting, sort of I'm trying to think like combinations, because I really, when I'm thinking of like the classic Wild West kind of thing, I'm thinking of like different weapons, like, and different kind of like tactics that you can use as well.
Yeah.
And like it would be really cool to see that kind of thing. And also like one of the things that I wrote down is I really want customizable outfits. Like that is my major wish list on there. I want to be able to customize outfits in this Wild West game. Just deck Samus out and like all the leather, all the stuff, all the fringe, that kind of thing. Yeah. So,
I'm kind of feeling like this would be a ripe opportunity for like her upgrades and abilities and tool set to come by way of very like steampunk contraptions for her to use.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
so.
I think, yeah, because I know that like if she can make it herself too, that would be like super cool. Just something that would, I can just like imagine, like a sort of like a, not really like a crafting system, but something like that you could put together and like create new weapons, crazy outfits, that kind of thing.
Right.
In this Wild West themed planet, that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, no, I have been like just thinking about this after looking at that art, and I just am like, why has this not happened? Because I feel like as though this would be just the perfect, because like if she's a bounty hunter, I want to see her doing some bounties, and like this would be like the perfect opportunity to do that, to do some like side quests of bounties kind of thing. Yeah,
I would think so. Like I said, I feel like the Oddworld Stranger's Wrath route could be a good way to go for this kind of thing. So yeah. I feel like that would play well, and this is one where I'm seeing in my head now like various steampunk contraptions, but done in a way where you can see a lot of the mechanisms, at least animate as they're being used. And part of me is almost like toying with whether or not I like the idea, but given that that you're not just away from civilization for the whole game, that you're kind of back and forthing between towns, so to speak, and so the fact that all these things that she uses for upgrades and everything are steampunky, and that they're very like gear centric and lube centric, and we're out in the West, my head goes, there's tons of dust and stuff, and so like a little kind of side thing you can do back in town is while you're out, the more you're using something, the more its performance degrades while you're out, because you've got just all the dust and shit getting into the gears and gumming stuff up, and so when you're coming back to town, you kind of duck out to your spot and saddle up to the workbench, and you're almost like mini game-ish. I hate to say it, but you're kind of disassembling equipment and cleaning it and piecing it back together, so you really get to like play with all the fun little intricacies of her equipment for the first time.
Yeah, that would be really fun to do. Yeah.
So, but I like the idea of seeing a lot of that stuff functioning in a very practical sense. So, like I'm picturing a grapple hook type deal that, you can see like the spool of wire that, unravels as it shoots out, and watching the gears whirring as it's so
yeah I can just see like so many different like opportunities for just all these crazy contraptions that you can like make, and it just gets me excited. Yeah.
Now here's the question.
And
going from town and out into the world, what is she riding?
Okay, so my thought was a horse, but like I think that there could be, now that I'm thinking, it would be like a Decora or something like that. That would be a lot of fun. Yeah. Get me one of those.
Awesome.
Give me one of those bird horse things. Yeah. So I think that would be a lot of fun.
I feel like the series. Oh yeah, I feel like the series missed an opportunity for the Dechoras to become like the series Chocobo.
Yes, definitely.
That's kind of what they are.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, they can go super fast too, so it's like a perfect opportunity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I have one question for you too, to piggyback off of my story idea. So I was thinking like the kid would be a travel companion, sort of like Ellie in Last of Us, or like Atreus in like God of War or something like that. And like those characters have like kind of special abilities that the main characters don't. So like what kind of special abilities do you think the kid should have?
Ooh. Part of me wants to just make him a pack mule. Like, hold my reserve tanks.
So my silly idea is that, and this is like, is that the kid would have telekinesis, and this is just me spilling out ideas, and because I know that like Metroid is sort of like weird, sort of sci-fi fantasy. So my pitch is that the kid has like some sort of like telekinetic powers, and like they can move stuff out of the way and that kind of stuff. And that's partly why they're being chased by the pirates and the marshals and that kind of stuff, / Federation. Because they all want the kid's powers, that kind of thing. And like when I say the kid, I kind of mean like the kid is sort of the Metroid, the baby Metroid in this series, in this spin-off. So if that makes sense, is that they have this sort of power that nobody else has, that could be used for good or for evil kind of thing. So that's kind of my thinking, but if you have a better idea.
No, but I have a visual idea that's in my head now.
What is that?
So, if she's traveling with, baby Metroid. Because we've seen, the baby Metroid in the jar container thing and the cylinder. I'm like, I feel like that could totally be, put on a strap and like an over-the-shoulder kind of thing, where the front of the strap is loaded with assorted ammunition for the different stuff that she uses. So it's got that kind of Western gunslinger look. And then the larva is, the baby is in the container on her back.
Okay, I like that a lot. It makes me think of
you know what?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say it almost makes me think of the what is that game that Kojima came out with
Death
the
Stranding.
Postman. Yes, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that Death Stranding crossover artwork I tagged you in today?
Oh no, I haven't seen it. I should look at it.
Yeah.
But that one, because if it's like that, then I think I will. I think it's what I'm thinking. Then I think I would like it. So.
I'm feeling like, you know, the Metroid would essentially be on her back on this strap, but if this played in like third person over the shoulder, maybe. I'm thinking too that because Prime had the hazard meter built into the visor, I'm feeling like the larva could almost function that way. Like if you're getting near something, you know, like big and gnarly and dangerous kind of thing, the larva starts kind of getting a little more antsy in its container, and you can see it, you know, kind of fidgeting, freaking out in its container on your back.
Yeah, and then it starts making those noises. Yeah.
I kind of like that natural integration.
Yeah.
A lot like what Dead Space did with, you know, building the HUD into the actual game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Make it a little more kind of like natural, I guess.
Yeah.
Kind of like how, you know, like the Prime games, it's like built into Samus's visor, which is like a genius idea. So.
Right.
Yeah. But. So actually I like this idea of having the Metroid better than having the kid. So I think if we go more space western, then I think this would be brilliant. So I call up Nintendo, get the big guys to do this game because I will play it immediately. It will be a bestseller. I can't wait for the amiibo to sell out immediately.
Right.
Yes. But yeah, no, I think because I saw that art and I was just like, oh my gosh, this is just perfect. You know, like that kind of like theme of just like going through an area, you know, by yourself, and it's like this open space, and it's like so different from like a Metroid game, but like it just kind of fits the themes of a Metroid game, and I really like that.
You know what else just got me really excited about this idea?
What?
The thought of Metroid music with a Western spin.
Oh yes. Like I'm thinking like guitars, I'm thinking like all that stuff. I'm thinking like, yes, I just want it all. Give it to me. Give it to me. Bless my eyes and ears. Yes, I want it all. So, yeah. So that's my pitch for a Western style Metroid game, and I can't wait for it to never come out.
All right, so let's put a bow on it. What's the official title?
Okay, let's put a bow on it and send it to Nintendo. Free idea for Nintendo.
Give me a game title.
Okay, Metroid Outlaw.
I can get behind this.
Yes.
I dig it.
Yes.
So, all right. Well, I think then that's a good place for us to wrap this episode this week. I want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in and checking out the Phazon Labs. In its infancy, we are still just the baby, but you know, we'll grow big and strong and menacing. So, thank you so much to Isabel for coming and hanging out with me and, you know, being geeky with me. And we'll see you all next week here at the Phazon Labs. Good night, everybody. Peace.
Night. Bye.